Happy Death Day to You is the sequel to the 2017 surprise hit Happy Death Day, where a sorority girl named Tree keeps reliving the same day over and over and over again, which always ends with her being killed by a killer in a creepy baby mask. I absolutely love the first one. Not only does it make the most out of the Groundhog Day, but a slasher movie concept, it was also just a genuinely great story with a great main character who I was interested in seeing become a better person throughout the course of the movie. I thought it was a great mix of Groundhog Day, Mean Girls, and Scream, and I think it played with all of those elements pretty well. So as a huge fan of the first one, I was very excited to see what Happy Death Day to You was going to be able to do to continue the story. So if I really want to get into this movie, I'm going to have to go into some minor spoiler territory. Nothing huge, just stuff in the first 30 minutes or so. But if you're a huge fan of the first one like I am, you're going to want to go in cold, having just watched the first one, and just let it surprise you. If you just want my quick thoughts on it, I thought it was great. I think it's the exact same level of entertaining that the first one was. I still think that Jessica Rothe is fucking incredible and should be in like 10 movies a year with how charming and funny she is, while still being able to really dig deep emotionally when a scene needs it. I think it's a great sequel to a great movie that is a shining example of what mainstream PG-13 horror can be when someone tries to do something really special with it. And once again, if you're a fan of the original, I think you should rewatch the first one and then go into this one as cold as you possibly can and just let it surprise you. So, with all that being said, I'm going to go into spoilers now, so that's your final warning. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. This movie has Tree stuck in the same Monday the 18th time loop that she was stuck in the first one, but now she's in a parallel dimension. That gives the film a lot to play with. The relationships between characters are different, the characters themselves are different, and even the killer is different this time. What was most interesting to me was how even certain things were filmed differently. Like I said, this is the same day from the first one, so everything that happens to Tree in that movie happens in this movie. But there will be a slight change to that scene. For example, there's a scene that happens in the first movie that still happens here, but they change up the staging a little bit. Nothing huge or anything like that, just moving one character from one side of the table to the other. It's a small thing, but I think the way that that conveys that this world is different and that something different is going to be happening in the scene is kind of incredible from such a small little detail. There's stuff like that throughout the movie, and I think that just goes to show the insane amount of attention to detail that screenwriter and director Christopher Landon is using to create a world that feels separate from the one in the first film. He also puts Tree in a whole new kind of personal gauntlet. The things that they set up in this new timeline are things that are genuinely interesting to see Tree wrestle with. And I won't give away what those things are, but they give this movie the same kind of emotion and character that the first one had. The relationship between Tree and Carter, who is played by Israel Broussard, is still incredibly adorable and sweet. Those two actors have some truly miraculous chemistry, and you continue to root for them just like you did in the first one. I will say for a horror movie, it's not very scary, but neither was the first one. I think this falls into the same kind of horror comedy territory that one did, but it just adds a little bit of a sci-fi twist to it. I do have a few problems with how the movie wrapped up. I think there are just a couple things in the climax that didn't really work. I just think that these movies are better than some of the decisions that they made in the third act, and it didn't diminish my enjoyment of the movie in any serious way, but I just wish that they would have handled certain things differently. Overall, Happy Death Day to You is a sequel that is just as surprising as its predecessor. It's a great horror comedy with a lead that is genuinely captivating. I just cannot get over how great Jessica Rothe is in these movies. I need her in more stuff immediately. Let's please not make the same mistakes that we made in 2017 when we didn't put Jessica Rothe in absolutely everything that we could the second that Happy Death Day came out. It's very creative in the ways that it plays with the genres that it's tackling, while also playing a lot with its own mythology. The story and the themes of the movie are just as effective and emotional as the ones in the first movie were, and I cannot wait to see what both Jessica Rothe and Christopher Landon are going to be doing next. If I were to give the first one a grade, I would give it a 4.25, and I think I would give Happy Death Day to You a 3.75 out of 5. It's a great sequel that I would highly recommend to anyone who's a fan of the first one. So what did you guys think of Happy Death Day to You? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on my Twitter and Instagram accounts, which I will have down in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.